it's the fucking green guy from Mario. Anyway. Yoshi and Link. So, I believe before I recorded this, or the previous recording session that I've mentioned in the past, it was before Tears of the Kingdom, and now it is over a month since Tears of the Kingdom first released. It's actually almost 2 months. And you know, looking back, it's honestly kind of weird to see Twilight Princess Link again. I'm just kind of so used to the Breath of the Wild, Age of Calamity, Tears of the Kingdom, like, new design for Link, which I honestly really, really like. And I don't know if I like it more than classic Link, but either way, it's still kind of like nice to see him again. Also, it's kind of hard to imagine a time where I didn't know Tears of the Kingdom. I played like 90 hours of that game on the first week. Like, I didn't have a lot of shifts at work, so I was just able to just go full ham on it. And I finished the whole game in most of the shrines. The first day, or not the first day, first week. Actually, speaking of, so now that I'm here and, you know, moved into a new place and doing all post-grad stuff, or like done with like grad stuff. This isn't the end, right? No. I've been like making a list of like things I want to do as I keep on earning money, and one of them was like go to a convention because I've never been to one before. And I've been watching all kinds of stuff about conventions, and I'm not a huge cosplayer, just because I'm too shy for my own good. But I came up with this cool idea that I really want to do one day, because I have most of the stuff for it. I have this like custom Korok plushie. I think it's specifically supposed to be Makar. But since, you know, that crucifying... Oh shit. Poor Yoshi. That crucifying Korok thing became such a huge meme amongst people playing the game that I would... If I can somehow, like, attach that plushie to, like, a giant wooden cross that I could get somewhere, I think that could be a fun thing, like a cool prop to have at a convention. Like maybe some sort of, like, Velcro, or... And, I don't know, I would love to get, like, the little, like, goo, the Ultra Hand goo on there, but... I don't know. I will think of it when it comes, but I would love to try and do that one of these days. I think it would be quite funny. Although, I've never participated in Korok crucifixion. I love the Koroks, and I would never torture them. So I don't. But I will laugh at the people who do. It is incredible. But yeah, I haven't really talked about the level so far, but, you know, not too much crazy going on here. A lot of cool new enemies. I believe the puppet is new, and these guys, these shell pods, are new. Actually, I don't know if I talk about this later on in the series, just because it's been a while since I recorded the first batch of episodes. But I kind of want to talk more about the enemies while we're here. I feel like in the past I heard a common complaint about the Subspace Emissary being that it mostly had original enemies. Ah, come on, come on. I can do this. Come on. That was shameful. Don't look at that. I've heard a criticism be that there was only original enemies, and it would be much more interesting if there were enemies from each series. And I do appreciate that in Smash Run. I think that's super cool that they have done that at some point. But I would like to disagree on that. I don't know if it's still a common complaint. But I do think the story here is a little bit more serious, and has some like real high stakes. We'll talk more about this in just a minute. Okay, well the cutscene wasn't that crazy, but Yoshi and Link are on the tail of the halberd, which has an interesting surprise in there. Oh man, we're already on the research facility. Alright, let's move on. Okay, yeah, so, once again, so the enemies, right? The story feels like it has a little bit higher stakes in this, and I kind of like the fact that all these enemies are unknown, they're kind of weird and creepy. I think it adds to those stakes. I feel like if you were a veteran to a lot of the games represented in Subspace, and you've seen a bunch of enemies you've seen before, you might already know what they might fight like. You've like definitely conquered them before, like you fought in the enemies before, so they would probably feel less intimidating, and the Subspace army itself probably wouldn't feel like as much of a threat. Like maybe if it got the like biggest, baddest bosses of like every series, and maybe it wouldn't quite do that. But I like that there's enemy variety and new things, just so that you don't have that familiarity. I like the fact that it's a new threat, and it's a lot more uncomfortable, given that we don't know most of these guys. So I don't know if that was coherent at all, but I hope that kind of changes people's minds about that fact if you did in fact not like that part of the Subspace Emissary. Look at Pikachu's little weird hands. So there's a few exceptions to that thing about the enemies. Like there were the Goombas, a bunch of Mario enemies, and now the Robs. The Robs aren't enemies in any game in particular. They're just, a real life toy that Nintendo produced back in the day. But they would be pretty unfamiliar to anyone who doesn't know them. So it's a little bit of an exception, but I think overall, you mostly are just seeing new enemies. This level is kind of interesting. I think that first section, and maybe this section, they're a little less linear. At least that first section wasn't too linear. I haven't played a lot of Metroid games. That is a pretty big shame of mine. But I do know that they are known for their non-linearity and their like maze-like structure. I wonder if that is like kind of a reference to the series. I don't know. It's just a theory, Who knows what the devs were thinking. I don't know if there was a lot of interviews about the level design for the Subspace Emissary. There was the Smash Dojo, which had oh shit, a key. The Smash Dojo had all kinds of information about Brawl. It's actually a website I'll be referring to later and showing off a little bit of at some point, just to give more insight about the story. Because it's a little vague right now. So we'll definitely be revisiting that, but I don't think it really covers a lot of like dev talk about the design of this game. So, oh yeah, back to the Metroid thing. So, I fancy myself a game guy. Like, I like games. I like video games. I feel like I've played a good number of obscure games and have a pretty refined palette. That being said, the only Metroid games I've had, or I've ever played, are Metroid 2, like the original GBA Metroid 2. I've not played Samus Returns for the 3DS. And Metroid Pinball for the DS. Which I've heard is very, very based off of Metroid Prime. But that is it. And like, I have access to Super Metroid, I just haven't gone to it. Please don't shame me for that. I'm also very ashamed of that. Oh. Nice shot. Cool. Yeah, now we have to run back. Some enemies do... I know I'm going back to this topic, but I just thought of it. Some of the enemies in Subspace might kind of remind you of some common enemies in throughout Nintendo games, like these guys. They're called Jicks. They're your Gordos of from Kirby. Guys who are just invincible. Yeah, they're just obstacles, really. All right, and we go up. Oh, we can probably wall jump. Yeah. Oh, my computer went all dark. I mean, my Wii went all dark. I'm sure no one cares, but I do have a copy of Brawl. I just don't have a way to record my Wii. God, I don't have a dirty mind, but just saying stuff like that. Maybe I hang out with one friend in particular too much, but I don't want to say it. I always feel like someone's gonna make a joke about it. But yeah, I don't have a way to record the Wii, which is a shame, because there's some games that I would love to play. Oh. Some games that I would love to record. Shit. Some games that I would love to record, but just don't really have the means to. And of course, you know, I could probably just emulate a lot of them. But some of them... Jeez, I'm getting my ass kicked here. Some of them I just would prefer to have the hardware version. Or not the hardware, the soft... I'm a mess. I can't speak. I would like to have the actual physical like version. For example, like Battle Revolution. I would, if I wanted to play that, one of my favorite games from my childhood, I'd want to do like the Wii DS to Wii transfer of like Pokemon. But I don't know if I could do that on Dolphin. So, who knows? We got the power suit. So we know they're after that. Huh, Lakeshore. I don't remember if I continued to go this far in the original series. Yeah, let's do Lakeshore. And look at that, we get to see more of Link and Yoshi already. So, as you might be able to guess, this is another segment of the story that differs depending on who you saved. If you save Zelda, Zelda will be attacking Link and Yoshi as they run, while Pit and Mario destroy the Subspace gun or whatever it's called. I might put that on screen at some point, but you can just kind of imagine what that may look like. Oh, the counter. So I didn't go Yoshi here, unfortunately, but I think we'll get plenty of time with him later. Yoshi in Ultimate and for Smash 4 was my main, and it still is. Pokemon Trainer is like another like one that I'm like trying to, or tried in the past to like get to be a main, but my secondary, we don't know about him yet. Let's give Yoshi a shot now. Just like what happened before, this is another scene that will differ depending on who you saved. So if you defeated Zelda in the last fight, Link and Yoshi would be attacking you, and you would be playing as Mario and Pit. I will show that on screen. Anytime you see Zelda and Peach, we've seen a few in the past that I may have not mentioned that, but anytime you see one of those two characters, it's usually because of a diverging path. Or not because of, but it usually involves a diverging path. Sorry, I totally, like, stopped comment. Oh, shit. That was meant to be an uppy. Oh my god, that's a game over? Oh, shit. That was completely on accident. That was a huge misinput. like totally lost focus because I was just trying to do some like cool stuff, but like failing because the physics are just not what I'm used to. Yeah, it's once again it's such a weird transition from Brawl to any other game, or any other game to Brawl. Ooh, let's set this up. No, 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 Link, let me get this. I flubbed it. Okay, well now it's a 2-on-1. But yeah, this is kind of an interesting fight. You don't get to do a lot of team fights in this mode. It's mostly just like these like linear platform levels. Oh my god, don't die again, please. Oh. Yeah. That item is fucking ridiculous in Brawl. The initial hit sends you so far. And then the level's not even over yet. We have a huge team reunited together, all after DDD. Let's give Kirby some love. And I know I said this many times already, but that is one more scene that changes depending on who you saved. So if you were fighting as Mario and Pit, King Dedede will kidnap Yoshi and Link, and Link will shoot that arrow to stop the machine. So yeah, I think it's very cool that they do it. It's like, you know, they didn't even have to make this mode, but I think it's just kind of an interesting thing that between any two playthrough, a few small differences can happen, even at the beginning, choosing between Mario and Kirby. So yeah, I just appreciate this game and all the work that went into it. And it's sad because by showing off just the Subspace Emissary, it's still kind of doing the game a disservice because there's so much in Brawl. Like, for people who are really used to Ultimate, you might forget that like trophies existed. There's that Coin Dozer game. There's masterpieces. All these cool little modes that are kind of like a little museum of Nintendo games. Come on. Nope. Yeah, if you get captured by them, you can mash out. They are kind of like a grappler type. Oh, I don't want to get stuck on you. That will be insta-death. You know, I don't even need to mess with them. God, they're placing them everywhere. Ooh, Shadow Beast from Twilight Princess. And here's where they landed. And yes, once again, the level is not quite over. And here's another... Well, I killed him instantly. But these are another crazy enemy. These Shadis. They're super, super rad. Oh, these fish eyes. Oh. So I wonder, I think I mentioned last time that the difficulty affects more than just like damage. Difficulty can affect whether you get extra lives. From what I'm aware of, it makes traps faster. So like those traps that could crush you, I'm wondering if those are faster. And I think maybe those explosions might be faster. Oh, I'm getting comboed. Nice. Oh my god, these guys take less damage when they're guarding themselves. If you can hit that like exposed part, then you'll do a lot more damage. Like that. That was a little section, short end to the level. But here we go. And that's another stage down. For some reason I thought that cutscene was supposed to go longer. Weird. Anyway. Sorry, I got caught off guard. A lot happened this episode. We had a huge group form. And we have seen some interesting stuff and some interesting new villains. So, with more on the line, join me next time where we go to the path... whoops. Join me next time when we go to the path to the ruins. Thanks for watching.